of the meeting. And so we move on to the public forum, and it's a great pleasure to welcome members of the Banks Avenue School Red Zone Action Group who are coming to present to the council. We've been really looking forward to this presentation, so please come forward.
Sorry, Leanne, Catherine's a permanent apology for the day.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
She's just texted me then.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so apology for absence from Councillor Chu. Kia ora and good morning. Welcome. If you could please introduce yourselves, and we really are looking forward to your presentation. Thank you.
Ko Ethan tuku ingoa, ko Banks Ave tuku kura.
Ko Zach tuku ingoa, ko Banks Ave tuku kura.
Ko Mary tuku ingoa, ko Banks Ave tuku kura.
Ko Callum tuku ingoa, ko Banks Ave tuku kura.
Kia ora koutou katoa, ko Clayton tuku matua, ko Verity tuku whaia, ko Keegan tuku ingoa, ko Vista tuku ingoa whānau, ko Banks Avenue tuku kura. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Hello everyone who has joined us on this fine day. My name is Keegan and I'm here with Callum Wadsworth.
Hello.
Ethan Thacker. Hi. Marianne Studley.
Hello.
Zach Woodward.
Hi.
Sean Carvell. Carl Sutherland, Evan Smith, Emma Woods, Jan Thompson, and the rest of the lovely Red Zone Actions team. To start us off, I'd like to take you back all the way to 2017, where I and 4 other children met with Sean and worked on the original Kids' Rights Project, where we learned that Article 12 of the Children's Convention says that children have a right to have a say on things that interest and affect them, and adults need to listen and take them seriously. We also met and presented to Children's Commissioner and former Judge Andrew Beecroft. That influenced us to develop this project because what happens in the Red Zone interests and affects us.
After that project was finished, Sean then came to us with a new project, which you all know as Adventure Ave. Sean then formed a group of 12 kids, which has now grown into about 18, and straight up told us, right then, you guys are in charge. That means that I am only here for help and feedback. You guys are the bosses. Yes, that is what she actually said. And so for the next 10 months, we worked, designed, and met with countless people who have helped us and even asked us for the ideas on their own projects.
That leads us into our main stages for the project. There are 4 main stages: huts, gardens, platforms, and bike tracks. Each of us joined one of the 4 groups, brainstormed designs and ideas related to our group, put it all together into one big model, and presented to people from Linz, Regenerate Christchurch, and a few of your colleagues who are here today.
And so, each of us are going to tell you about the ideas from each group and what each group has done. Ethan, would you like to start us off with the gardens group?
Sure. I'm in the gardens group. We would like to plant lots of native plants throughout the area, and we also thought it would be good to plant flowers at the front of the park to attract people and birds. We thought we could use up some of the logs in the red zone to put around the perimeter of the area with fruit trees for kids to pick when ready.
Thanks, Ethan. Zach, would you like to speak next?
Of course, Keegan. There's a bike track with 3 different levels which could affect that. There's a bike track with 3 different levels: easy, medium, and hard, with obstacles and ramps. That could be good for different ages and levels because it is hard and easy on some bike tracks.
Thanks, Zach. Keegan, you're up next.
Thank you, Callum. Yes, I am in the platforms group, and I am here to present our ideas to you. For the platforms, we've decided that our favourite ideas for platforms are the following: climbing walls, slides, rope spiders, etc.
Callum, would you like to speak?
Yes, Ethan. I'm Callum. And a couple of years ago, I got my own hut in my back garden, and to me, it was a pirate ship. But for my sister, it's a princess fairy castle or something like that. But the point I'm getting at is huts can be whatever you want, whenever you want, as long as you use your imagination. That's why huts were such a big and important part in the red zone. Now, huts are kind of like tree houses, which is why we incorporated a second floor into our first hut, which is going into the red zone. We'll decorate the upstairs and downstairs with chairs in the first hut. And later on in stage 3, we will incorporate DIY build your own huts, where you can pick up some materials, put them down, and build your own hut. That pretty much sums up all the ideas, well, most of the ideas from the huts group.
Thank you, Callum. Ethan and Zach, do you have some benefits for us?
The benefits of Adventure Ave are that we're making the playground out of all natural parts, and also, what many playgrounds are completely designed by kids. The playground will be assembled with a bike track, which is good because there aren't many kid-friendly bike tracks close in Christchurch.
It's making the red zone a fun place from a bad experience. It's more nature-based than other playgrounds, and it isn't plastic, and it's all led by kids.
Kia ora. I would like to see little kids having fun in the playground, so other people. I don't want to see little kids just sitting in their bedroom anymore, shutting everyone out. We would like some money from you to build the playground for the equipment. We would also like some materials like wood, tools, and many more.
Adventure Ave is a family-friendly environmental playground for kids to enjoy and let their big imaginations run wild. And after 10 months of work, we have come to the realization that this vision is going to come true. To summarize everything, all the ideas will be put into 4 main stages. Stage 1A will consist of bike tracks and gardens. This stage will be the start of the build, and this is what we want first. Stage 1B, which should come around next year, will consist of huts and platforms. Over the course of Halloween and Christmas next year, we hope for Stage 2 to be implemented. Stage 2 introduces flying foxes, slides, relaxation areas, and a rocktopus. If you don't know what that is, you can go to Avebury Park to see. And finally, Stage 3. We hope for the construction of Stage 3 to be around 2021. This is what we like to call the imagination stage, which we hope will include sliding rails and DIY huts for children to be creative and design a fortress of their own. This is what we hope to be Adventure Ave Park. Now, to finish with a speech, we would like to ask you, how can you help us? We want to know from you, is what we've done worthy of the time, budget, and effort that we will hope to be put in the building of this park? Thank you for inviting us here and listening to us, and enjoy the rest of your day. Any questions?
Excellent. Well, I would guess that that's a very good place for us to start, because there aren't many presentations that automatically engender applause from all of the councillors sitting around the table. So it's you're off to a good start. I think that really you got me right at the beginning of your presentation when you said that under the convention that children have a right to have a say in the things that affect their lives, you know, and you are absolutely right, which is, you know, partly why we've, you know, appointed one of our councillors to be our spokesperson for young people now, and for children in particular too. So we think that if a city is good for an 8-year-old, an 18-year-old and an 80-year-old, then it's got to be good for everyone. You've got to understand what young people want for themselves. And what has been amazing about your presentation is that you've been through this whole process of engaging all of your ideas and then coming out with a plan. But not only is it a plan that's a dream, it's a plan that's got stages that are all achievable. And I'm actually thinking of all of the partners that would want to come on board and work with you. Even the Student Volunteer Army, I can just feel that SVA would want to be involved in some way. So, I don't think that all of the answers, but I don't think you're looking for all of the answers from around this table, because I think you know what a lot of the answers are. And we're going to love partnering with you to find how to make it happen, because I'm sure that we'll want to. Does anyone want to? Anne, would you like to, because you're our spokesperson, I feel that I should defer to you to perhaps say something.
I'd just like to congratulate you on the work that you've done, and we are very serious about hearing the voices of our young people in this city. You are our future, and you have demonstrated beautifully that our future is in very capable hands. So thank you very much for the work you've done, and I really applaud you, and we are right behind you, and we can help in any way. So well done.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah. So can I set that little task for you, Anne, to start off that process of setting up the linking point between our council and our young people from Banks Ave School, so that we can make this a reality together, because this is not something we're going to do for you. We're going to work with you so that you can do it for yourselves.
Yes, absolutely. Be delighted to.
Good.
Do you know how much money you need? Have you got an idea?
Pauline,
Yeah.
Pauline, that is not in the spirit of this occasion.
My thought is altogether a couple $100,000.
Thanks, Pauline. Right. Yeah, but unfortunately, I shouldn't have let that happen. But because I think we're going to start from the point of establishing the partnerships, because this is not going to be just about the money. It's actually going to be about what we build together. So it is going to be so much more than that. So and actually you can't put a price or a value on that at all. So how are we going to co-invest in this idea? This is an idea that you are going to make happen. So well done. So thank you very much for coming and presenting to the council. You've done really
Thank you
well.
very much. We're very happy to be here.
Thank you.
As the future council in the market.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I might just get a really quick photo because I didn't want to sort of go and stand in the middle. Do you get what I mean? Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm their class teacher.
No, none of us were like that at 12. Look, the other thing that I was going to do, and which I completely forgot to do, was actually to acknowledge another young person that's in the room today, and that's Praisal Khan. And I'd like to welcome her. She's here doing a wee internship from Burnside High School. So, welcome. Yeah. Right, now, the next public participation is Mike Mora, who's making a presentation, a 5-minute presentation. Thank you. No, he's not here on behalf of the community board, just making a personal presentation as a resident.
Thank you, Leanne and councillors. It was a pretty hard act to follow, but anyway, we'll do our best. This topic is about the 5th generation 5G cellular technology. What we want is the council to look at to declare itself permanently 5G free as soon as possible. 5G coverage began in Christchurch 2 days ago on the 10th of December. Request precautionary action now before further coverage is rolled out. Generally, there is a lack of awareness about the health and safety of the population, 5G being rolled out without choice or consent by the population. Independent scientific evidence presented here versus telco's non-independent research. While the world's population is basically oblivious to the potential health effects, the world's scientists have already gathered their own momentum and are vociferous in their concern. Crucial issue is the dose, which is the function of the intensity and the duration. Sources and the intensity of electromagnetic radiation increase, so does the exposure. Exposure is increasing as 5G is another layer of radiation separate to the layer of 4G radiation. Scientists expect to see increases in diseases that have been demonstrated that are associated with the exposure. Scientists advise that 2.4 gigahertz frequency is the most destructive carrier frequency. 5G use 4.8 gigahertz octave higher of the most destructive frequency equals the problem squared. The known link between radiation and cancer. The punchline is the central mechanism of the generation of reactive oxygen species. This results in a whole variety of factors affecting metabolism in almost every cell of the body. Artificial EMFs are genotoxic and cumulative. The damage that the DNA molecule allow calcium to get into the cells, setting up a cycle of oxidative stress that produces harmful free radicals, which contribute to cancer and ageing and then etc. Request the council look at the science. If science shows very credibly that A is causing B, if we don't have all the information about every single step that unravels to show that the process works, that shouldn't stop us taking sensible measures to do what common sense tells us we should be doing wrong. The current policy in New Zealand appears to be inadequate to protect the public health. New Zealand guidelines rely on 1998 information, now out of date and inconsistent with scientific evidence. Telcos may be justifying their position by using these out-of-date guidelines. Those guidelines are not law, merely recommendation. From the submission today, the Council is aware of this discrepancy, therefore should not enable 5G in the meantime. Hallswell is not covered at the moment. Please halt further coverage. Global pushback. Vociferous worldwide concern from scientists and companies and organisations and individuals, i.e. current 5G space appeal, 185,000 signatures so far. Also scientific resolutions, appeals and declarations over 37 years from Austria, Brazil, Russia, the EU, Italy, USA, Ireland, Germany, UK and others. There are Christchurch residents who are electro-hypersensitive, EHS, due to current 2.4G frequencies. 5G is likely to be a lot worse. insects, bees would be exposed to high frequency waves, which would correspond with the size of the insect's bodies. When the insect's body length corresponds to the wavelength, it could cause a change in behaviour, psychology and morphology, and form and structure of organisms. We know bees are not dying where there is no cell phone radiation. The insurance industry has got some real concerns about this too, but I can see I'm running out of time, but that needs to be looked at. And the resources listed in the submission are ample evidence. The last thing I want to say is fibre optic is...
Thank you. The time's up for your presentation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Right. The next item on the agenda is there is no